Welcome back. As promised, we've got high school hoops for you, where we go to one of the Northland's most beloved basketball courts on the east side of Duluth. If you know, you know. Welcome to the Juice Box as the Greyhounds welcome in the Grand Rapids Thunderhawks, both seeking their 8th win of the season. We catch this one right from the jump. It's Grand Rapids' Brea LaPlante dodging to the bucket, weaving through defenders, and that'll put the Thunderhawks up for nothing. Very next play, Maggie Winsett is wheeling and dealing. She finds Piper Witzman down low, cutting the Rapids' lead in half early on. And just when you thought a little deja vu was on the horizon, Candace Dom forces the turnover off of LaPlante and makes her pay. Nothing but money off of her right hand. The Greyhounds take their first lead of the game, 6-4. But LaPlante wasn't having any of that. So she says, watch what I can do, cashing in on her own for 3. Still a 2-point game, but the lead is back on the Rapids side. And as you can imagine, this one would go back and forth, but it was Grand Rapids who earns their 8th dub of the season, 60-56 over the Hounds. And finally, we take a trip across town to Duluth-Denfeld, who's hosting the Rockledge Wolverines. We get going in the second half here as Elizabeth Fultz makes her way through traffic. A bounce pass to Ava Dahl, who feeds her right back, and Fultz makes this one 61-14 ball game. Wolverines leading, and the visiting team would continue to bring the offensive pressure. It's Sophia Lampa with the ball now. She goes to work and moves in. And pull up, she gets the bounce and the bucket. It's 65-20 now. Very next possession, Hunters struggling to find answers. Kaylee Anderson is searching for a 3. Not quite. Hunters try again. But hey, the third time's the charm, and Anderson's smile says it all, but it wasn't enough as the Wolverines bust home with a 65-22 victory. I gotta go back.